Bella lay curled up on her favorite sunlit spot by the window, her once lustrous fur now dull and matted. The golden rays that streamed through the glass barely warmed her frail body, but she found solace in them, just as she found solace in the memories of happier days spent with Max, her playful companion. As she gazed outside, the vibrant world of birds, flitting from branch to branch, seemed like a distant dream, one that she could no longer partake in. "You're going to be all right, Bella," whispered Laura, her human caretaker, as she gently stroked Bella's back. The warmth of Laura's hand was comforting, yet Bella felt a pang of sadness. Laura had always been there for her, nursing her through the worst of her illnesses, but the ache of loneliness gnawed at Bella's heart. "Let's take our time today, just you and me." "Meow," Bella replied softly, her voice barely above a whisper. It was all she could muster. The days had blurred into one another, each filled with a haunting emptiness since Max had left. She could hear the laughter of other cats outside, chasing each other in the playground of the neighborhood, while she remained an observer, distanced by her condition and grief. As Laura prepared Bella's favorite meal, she noticed the cat's subdued demeanor. "I know you miss him," she said, her voice breaking slightly. "But we can create new memories together, can't we?" Laura's eyes sparkled with hope, but Bella felt a heaviness in her heart. How could she forge new bonds when the ghost of Max lingered in every shadow? Lost in thought, Bella remembered the warm summer days chasing butterflies with Max, the way his bright eyes sparkled with mischief. He loved to climb the old oak tree, Bella reminisced, picturing Max perched on a branch, teasing her to join him. The memory was bittersweet. It foreshadowed her current reality, a reality she struggled to accept. "You know," Laura continued, pulling Bella from her reverie, "I think Max would want you to be happy." Bella flicked her ear in response, considering the truth in Laura's words. Could she really find happiness again? Would Max's absence always linger like an uninvited guest? "I wish I could tell him how much he meant to me," Bella thought, her heart heavy with longing. As if sensing her sorrow, Laura lifted Bella into her arms, cradling her close. "You're never alone, Bella. I promise to fill your days with love." For the first time in weeks, a flicker of warmth blossomed in Bella's chest. Perhaps she could allow herself to heal, to find companionship again. But the haunting memories of Max's laughter still echoed in her mind, a reminder of the love she had lost. Bella's heart sank as she watched from her window perch the once familiar sight of Max playing with a new cat in the yard just across the street. The sun shone brightly, casting playful shadows as they tumbled and rolled in the grass, their laughter ringing in the air like distant chimes. How could he move on so easily? The question gnawed at her, each flick of his tail a reminder of the joy she had lost. Laura, sensing Bella's distress, settled beside her on the floor. "I know it hurts to see him with someone new, sweetheart," she said softly. Bella turned her head away, unable to respond. The ache in her heart was too profound for words. Max had been more than a companion. He was her confidant, her partner in mischief. Now he had chosen another, leaving Bella feeling abandoned and rejected. "Look at him, Bella," Laura pointed out as Max leaped gracefully after a butterfly, his sleek body vibrant and full of life. "He's happy, and that's important." Bella's ears twitched at Laura's words, but the flutter of hope was quickly overshadowed by despair. She had once shared that joy with Max, and now it felt like a distant memory, taunting her with its absence. As days turned into weeks, Bella's loneliness became palpable. Other neighborhood cats, noticing her despondence, began to approach her cautiously. A fluffy orange tabby named Rufus was the first to break the silence. "Hey, Bella, you all right? You seem a bit down," he called out one afternoon, his voice a mix of concern and curiosity. Bella looked up, her green eyes meeting his. "I'm fine," she replied, though the lie felt heavy on her tongue. Rufus took a step closer, his whiskers twitching. "You don't look fine. We used to have a lot of fun together. Remember the time we chased that squirrel up the tree?" he recalled, trying to coax a smile from her. Bella's heart fluttered at the memory, but she shook her head, refusing to indulge in nostalgia. "That was before," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Now I'm just alone." Rufus hesitated, sensing the depth of her sadness. "I get it, Bella, but we could hang out, maybe find some trouble to get into?" He offered a tentative smile, hoping to lighten her mood. Bella considered his words, a flicker of warmth igniting within her. Maybe, she murmured, but her thoughts were still consumed by Max, whose laughter echoed in her mind. Meanwhile, across the street, Max's life continued in full swing with his new companion, a sprightly calico named Daisy. She was vibrant and full of energy, drawing out Max's playful side like a magnet. They chased each other through the garden, their joyous antics contrasting starkly with Bella's isolation. "Look at us, Daisy," Max exclaimed, leaping over a patch of daisies. "This is the best summer ever." His voice was bright, devoid of the undertones of guilt that haunted Bella. He had moved on, while she remained shackled by her grief. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Bella felt a stirring in her heart. Not quite hope, but a whisper of possibility. Perhaps she could take Rufus up on his offer. Maybe, just maybe, she could find a way to step out of the shadows that Max's departure had cast over her world. Bella gazed out of her window once more, her heart a heavy stone lodged in her chest. Each day she watched as Max and Daisy frolicked together, their laughter ringing like a cruel reminder of what she had lost. The way Max's eyes sparkled with joy, how he effortlessly leaped through the air, filled her with an ache that was both familiar and foreign. How could he move on so swiftly? The thought twisted like a knife in her heart. One afternoon, Laura entered the room, her brow furrowed with concern. "Bella, sweetheart," she said gently, kneeling beside her. "I've noticed you've been a bit off lately. Is there anything I can do to help?" Bella turned her head away, a silent refusal to acknowledge the hurt she felt. Laura understood, though. She could see the sadness etched in Bella's emerald eyes. "I know it's hard to see Max with someone new," Laura continued, her voice soothing. "But you're not alone. You still have me." Bella's ears twitched at the sound of her caretaker's voice, a soft comfort in her storm of emotions. But it wasn't enough to fill the void Max had left behind. Days bled into each other, and every sunrise brought with it the same longing. Bella could hear the faint sounds of Max and Daisy playing outside, their joyous yelps and purring laughter mingling with the gentle rustle of leaves. Each sound was a reminder of the happiness that had slipped through her pause. The loneliness was palpable, wrapping around her like a shroud. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm glow through her window, Bella had an unexpected visitor. Rufus, the fluffy orange tabby, hopped onto the porch. "Hey, Bella, mind if I join you?" he asked, his tone light and friendly. Bella hesitated but nodded, grateful for the distraction from her sorrow. "What are you up to?" she asked, trying to sound casual. Rufus plopped down beside her, his whiskers twitching with enthusiasm. "Just looking for some adventure. You know, I've seen you sulking here for too long. You used to be the queen of fun. Remember the time we devised that grand plan to steal treats from the kitchen?" His eyes sparkled with mischief. Bella couldn't help but smile at the memory, though it was quickly overshadowed by the weight of her heart. "That was before," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "Now it just feels empty." Rufus shifted closer, his expression softening. "I get it. But you're not alone, Bella. We could make new memories, maybe even find a way to get back at that pesky dog next door." He chuckled, trying to uplift her spirits. Bella felt a flicker of warmth at Rufus' words, a hint of the joy she once knew. "Maybe," she replied hesitantly, but her thoughts drifted back to Max. Meanwhile, across the street, Max and Daisy were oblivious to Bella's heartbreak. They chased each other through the garden, their laughter ringing through the air like a sweet melody. "This is the best summer ever," Max exclaimed, his voice bright and carefree. Bella watched, her heart aching as she recalled the days when that joy had been shared between them. As the shadows lengthened and the sky turned to twilight, Bella felt a stirring within her. Could she allow herself to embrace the possibility of new friendships? Could Rufus be the first step towards healing? The thought was a gentle whisper in her mind, one that promised a glimmer of hope amid the depths of her despair. Bella awoke one morning to the soft rays of sunlight filtering through her window. The warmth brushed against her fur like a gentle caress, stirring something deep within her, a whisper of hope. As she stretched, she noticed the absence of the familiar ache in her heart, replaced instead by a flutter of curiosity. Today felt different. Laura entered the room, her usual smile brightening the space. "Good morning, Bella." "I have a surprise for you," she announced, her voice brimming with excitement. Bella perked up, intrigued. What could this surprise be? "I know you've been feeling a little down lately, so I thought you might enjoy some company," Laura continued. And before Bella could fully process the words, a flurry of tiny paws scampered into the room. A group of kittens, no bigger than Bella's paw, tumbled in, their playful antics filling the room with a sense of joy that Bella had long forgotten. One particularly energetic tabby kitten bounced over and playfully swatted at Bella's tail. "Hi, I'm Pippin. Want to play?" Bella blinked, surprised by the sudden burst of energy in her once lonely space. "Play? With you?" she asked, her voice laced with uncertainty. "Of course. Come on, it'll be fun." Pippin insisted, darting around in circles, his enthusiasm infectious. Bella felt a twinge of reluctance, but as she watched the other kittens engage in their playful tussle, a spark ignited within her. "All right, maybe just a little," she replied, finally allowing herself to join in. As they chased each other around the room, Bella discovered a rhythm she thought had been lost. The sound of their laughter rang through the air, weaving a tapestry of joy that wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. Meanwhile, Laura watched from a distance, her heart swelling with happiness. She could see the change in Bella, the way her posture relaxed, her eyes brightened, and how a playful spirit began to emerge. "You see, Bella? You're not alone in this. You can find joy again," she whispered, feeling the bond between them deepen with each passing moment. As the day unfolded, Bella found herself lost in the kitten's antics. They climbed over her, nibbled at her ears, and even attempted a clumsy group pounce, which sent them tumbling in a heap of giggles. Bella let out a soft purr, a sound she hadn't made in what felt like ages. Later that afternoon, as the kittens settled down for a nap, Bella found a quiet moment alone with Laura. The human sat beside her on the floor, gently scratching behind Bella's ears. "You're such a good girl, Bella." "I know it's been tough," Laura said softly, "but I want you to know that I'm here for you, always. We can work through this together." Bella leaned into Laura's touch, feeling the warmth of her caretaker's love seep into her being. For the first time in a long while, Bella realized she could embrace the possibility of happiness without forgetting Max. It was not a betrayal, but instead a testament to her resilience. As night fell, Bella curled up beside the sleeping kittens, her heart no longer heavy, but instead filled with warmth and a sense of belonging. She realized that while Max had chosen a different path, her journey was far from over. With the support of Laura and her newfound friends, Bella was ready to rediscover joy, one playful moment at a time. Bella awoke to the soft sounds of purring and playful mews echoing around her. The kittens had become a constant source of joy, their energy infectious and their antics a balm for her heart. Today, she felt particularly invigorated, ready to embrace the new friendships that had blossomed in her life. As she stretched, Bella glanced at the kittens, who were tangled together in a furry heap, their tiny bodies rising and falling in unison. There was Pippin, the spirited tabby, alongside his siblings, all blissfully unaware of the world outside their cozy haven. Bella couldn't help but smile. This was her home now, filled with laughter and warmth. "Hey, sleepyheads," Bella called out, her voice playful. "It's time to wake up and have some fun." With a flurry of movement, the kittens stirred, their eyes blinking open in surprise. Pippin was the first to leap up. "What's the plan, Bella?" he chirped, his tail twitching with excitement. Bella pondered for a moment, recalling how she had once felt so alone. Now her heart brimmed with a desire to share the joy she had found. "How about we explore the backyard? I've heard there are plenty of butterflies to chase." The kittens squealed in delight, gathering around Bella as they bounded towards the door. Laura stood by the entrance, her smile radiant as she opened the door to let them out. "You all have fun. Just remember to stay close," she cautioned, her voice filled with warmth and concern. The moment they stepped outside, Bella felt the gentle breeze ruffle her fur, and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air. It was a new world waiting to be discovered. The kittens scampered ahead, their little paws dancing across the grass, while Bella followed behind, her heart light. As they ventured further into the garden, Bella spotted a small, timid cat hiding beneath a bush. His fur was matted, and his eyes reflected a deep sadness that reminded her all too well of her own past. She paused, sensing an opportunity to give back, to extend the kindness she had received. "Hey there," Bella called softly, approaching the frightened feline. "You don't have to hide. We're just playing. You can join us." The cat hesitated, peering out from beneath the leaves. I don't know," he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm not like you. I'm not fun." Bella sat down, making herself smaller, her heart aching for the loneliness she saw in his eyes. "You don't have to be anything other than yourself. Just come out and see. We're all friends here." After a moment of silence, the timid cat shuffled out, his ears flicking back and forth in uncertainty. "Really? You mean it?" "Absolutely," Bella assured him. "I was once lonely too, but friendship can change everything. Come play with us." With a tentative step, the cat approached Bella, and soon enough, the other kittens gathered around, welcoming him with open paws. Together, they chased butterflies, their laughter echoing across the garden, a melody of newfound joy and companionship. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Bella reflected on the day. She had not only helped another cat find joy, but in doing so, she had solidified her own healing. The memory of Max lingered in the back of her mind, but it no longer felt like a weight. Instead, it was a reminder of how far she had come. Bella turned to her new friends, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I've learned that love and kindness can be shared, and that every new friendship is a chance to grow," she said, her voice filled with warmth. Pippin bounced over, his eyes sparkling. "You're right, Bella. We can all be friends together, just like you said." As the stars began to twinkle above them, Bella realized that she was no longer defined by her past heartbreak. She had discovered her strength and resilience, and in helping another cat, she had reclaimed her sense of self-worth. Bella knew this was only the beginning of her journey, a journey filled with love, laughter, and the promise of many more adventures to come.